Hi, my name is Nicholas Sellers, username Nick Online, and this is the story of my trip to Costa Rica. Over the past 16 days, I traveled through the beautiful Central American country of Costa Rica. This included sightseeing, meeting people from all corners of the world, and experiencing real life and a culture of a small town called Mina, with a flight from Boise, Idaho to Orange County, California to visit my family. So I was on my way to Costa Rica, but had to make a pit stop in California first to see my family. To stay with Patches for a night. See you guys tomorrow. After a short night of quality time with my relatives, I headed to Los Angeles International Airport and started my trip for real. Seven hours later, I landed in San Jose, the capital city of Costa Rica. Since this is a volunteering trip through the company IVHQ, International Volunteer Headquarters, they had a driver ready to pick me up, along with a young kid who was clearly very excited to be there. After dropping him off, I was taken to my host mom's house where I was given a room temporarily to myself. My host mom was incredibly nice but didn't speak any English, and I spoke very little Spanish, so it was kind of rough at first. Her name was Jamilet, or as we called her, Yami. Only about 3 hours later, I was already waking up for a combo adventure day trip to experience the beauty of Costa Rica through various activities. First up was the coffee plantation tour. It turns out Costa Rica is widely known for their high quality coffee, one of their biggest exports. My group started by having breakfast at the plantation, then got a private tour of the production areas. According to our guide, coffee grown from this particular plantation happened to be voted best coffee in the world 2 years in a row. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of coffee, so I couldn't really give it the respect that it deserved. Next up was the La Paz volcano. We were warned that this is an active volcano and there was a possibility of erupting, so before we were able to hike up to the lookout point, we had to watch an informational video about what to do in case of eruption and put on hard hats due to their mandatory safety guidelines. The hike was around 20 minutes up to the top. For some reason I expected to see lava, but seeing a small crater in the center of a large crater, surrounded by clouds and rock formations, was even more beautiful. We got lucky because apparently the crater is only visible about 50% of the time due to the clouds. Towards the end of our viewing, the clouds started rolling in. It only took about 20 seconds from the time it was visible to the time that it was completely covered by the cloud layer. It also started raining out of nowhere, so we hurried back to the base of the hill. Third activity of the day was the animal sanctuary with an included meal at the local buffet-style restaurant. Not the best food, but it was free, so I can't really complain. Well, I guess not really free, I paid for the tour. So many different species of all shapes and sizes that I'd never thought I'd see in person until that day.
What's going on, my man? Oh no!
One common trend I noticed with the animals, insects, vegetation, weather, and even the environment itself in Costa Rica, everything wants to kill you. But I'll touch more on that subject later. Towards the end of the sanctuary, the tour turned into a beautiful walk overseeing multiple waterfalls in the surrounding area. When you think of Costa Rica, this is exactly what you picture. Amazing waterfalls with several thousand pounds of water falling every minute. And although it was incredibly beautiful and deadly, walking up and down these nearly vertical steps was almost enough to make my legs give out, and I was exhausted. After finishing the tour, and more than 2.5 hour bus ride back to San Jose, I was finally able to sit down for a nice homemade dinner with my host family and relax for the night. We did a lot of stuff today, and I got dropped off at the company's place that I'm doing this with, and I had no idea how to get home. I got my Uber home, and the guy spoke just a very little bit of English, but he was so nice. His name was Fernando. People here are very friendly, and I love that. That's the one thing that I love most about Central America. I guess in 2 days, I'm actually getting transferred to another host family on the beach where I'll actually be working. The next day was very calm. All it really consisted of was waiting for the new people to join me at the host family's house. First to join me was Agnes, an incredibly nice girl born in Korea living in Vancouver, followed by Ahmed, an incredibly nice guy born in Egypt living in Toronto. Together, the three of us took the bus to Maximo Nivel, the company that organizes the volunteers and coordinates our homestays. Where we had some extra time, so naturally we grabbed some food and beer at a local bar.
Okay, I'll be artistic. I love being artistic with things like this.
I don't know what to do.
Just do something cool. Yes. Now you missed it. Woo!
Dude, that's crazy to me that they have a Hooters in Costa Rica.
We then had our first orientation with Maximo and learned more about the company. Over the next 2 days, we had more orientations and more volunteers join us. Among these volunteers was Joy, born in China, attending school in Chicago, one of the most kind and authentic people I've ever met. Genuinely excited to see animals and capture life through the perspective of her camera. This was also when Joanna from England and Edward from California joined us. Both are awesome people that I had a ton of fun hanging out with, and I wish I got to know better. Having everybody together at the house was a ton of fun, but before we could travel to our next placement and get all of the info for our future volunteering location, we had one more addition join us. This is Brady, my new roommate and brother for the rest of this trip. Get used to his face, you'll be seeing him a lot in this video. And now the gang was all here.
So we just got done with the orientation for the sea turtles. Sorry, don't mind me. It's so awkward doing this in front of people.
So I did a salsa class tonight, a salsa dancing class, and it was something that I never thought that I would do, but two of my roommates here were planning to do it. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm in Costa Rica, might as well do it. But it turned out being so much fun, and it was incredibly tiring, but it brought me out of my comfort zone. It was a great time, and the partner that I had for it made it even better. She made it fun. She didn't make me feel stupid because I didn't know what I was doing. It was a ton of fun. We were laughing and having fun. We both got videos of it. I mean, she was very beautiful too. Hopefully I'll do more stuff like this, like get me out of my comfort zone and do stuff that I wouldn't do otherwise. And a huge thanks to my roommates here. Some of them are coming with me tomorrow because we're going to a new area, a new placement. But for some of them, two of them mainly, are not coming with us. You meet these people and in such a short time, like you care so much for them. We all had our final orientation, learned the plans for the following day, got some sleep, then set off on our long journey to Paris Mina the next day. We got picked up by a shuttle at 6 a.m. and taken to the bus station. Boarded our bus and started out on our multiple-hour ride from San Jose to the city of Siquirres, where we grabbed some food at a local spot, chilled out for 2 hours, then boarded our next bus from Siquirres to Caño Blanco. Finally arriving in Caño Blanco, we waited on the side of a river for a water taxi to bring us to our final destination and new home, a small rural town called Paris Mina, where we'd spend the next 2 weeks living with the locals in their own homes. It doesn't get any more authentic than this.